Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of Redmond's Rambles, episode 2. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. I think 2 people subscribed, 1 person unsubscribed half an hour later. But you know, every little helps. Maybe someday we'll look back and it'll laugh. Someday I'll just laugh at myself. So if you are new to the channel, obviously please just give a subscribe and give it a like as well if you like it. If there's anything wrong with it, anything bad, good with it, just let me know. See what you think. And it's the only way I'm going to improve my channel and improve the videos I send out. So this is the second episode, and today I kind of want to talk a bit about the food that we have in Korea, the food available to yourself as a foreigner, and the food that you have to really go out there and try. Really, as I'd say, you have to try in Korea, I think, different types of food because there's so much on offer. You've got Chinese food, you've got Japanese food, you've got a wide range of Korean food as well that you need to try. And a lot of the food has a big rich history behind it, and a lot of the food is just is derived from Korean, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, like fusions, influences. So it's really interesting to see. Now today I'm also going to try and put a few pictures in as well for some of the meals I've had. Now if you're a fussy eater, I'll start off with the easy Western food options you can get. Now I had a friend, he came over last month. He was very fussy to say the least, so, and he won't mind me saying that because he knows he is. He likes his chicken, and he likes his chips, and he likes like margarita pizza as such, like nothing really to push the boat out. And we struggled a little bit where I live because I live in north of Seoul. So there's not really as much Western restaurant options. You have our pizza parlours, there's pizza shops everywhere in Korea. They love pizza, or piga as they would say. I've also got the option of McDonald's and Burger King and your KFC. So probably McDonald's is probably the most popular fast food chain here. Shortly followed by Burger King, I'd say. They're the 2 big ones, but they're very easy. Now I did a bad thing of downloading McDelivery onto my phone. Now before I ordered McDelivery on my phone, I actually never really got McDonald's. I got it once every 2-3 weeks maybe, and now it's whenever I'm a little bit hungry, my finger hovers on the McDelivery app. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. You don't have to leave your apartment at any time of the day to go to McDonald's, but at the same time, you know, I should be making myself some fresh pasta or salad where I'm ordering a Big Mac, chips, and chicken wings. I'll order them too. I've never had them before in Korea. I've never had them before in the UK. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit fancier, maybe an actual sit-down meal, somewhere you go with your friends or your partner, or maybe just relax on your own. You can eat here on your own in Korea. It's not too big of an issue. There's a few places, obviously. I know there's a TGI Fridays around my place here, but I personally don't like TGI Fridays. I think it's very plastic food in the UK, so I don't even want to try the Korean one. There's a really nice place called Outback, and it's Australian. It's an Australian grill, Australian steakhouse. Now, it's a reasonable price. It can be. It's not something you go to every day. It's not something you probably go to every week. It's a special occasion kind of restaurant. Now I went there and had a really lovely meal, chicken wings, pasta and steak. I'll add the picture in, but it was really, really good and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, they're everywhere. So if you fancy a bit of steak, you don't mind forking out a few quid, that's a nice option to go to. Now, obviously, if you go to the not touristy areas, but you know, the foreign areas where a lot of foreign people would Congress. It's not mass. A lot of people would go to spend leisure time. Itaewon is very popular. Itaewon is the only place I know in Korea. Yeah, I know there's different places. I know people comment saying, what about this and this, but it's the only place I know I can get a lamb kebab, because I love lamb kebabs. Every time I go to Itaewon, if I'm drinking, if I'm not drinking, if I'm passing through, I'll always make sure I get myself a lamb kebab, because I just find them outstanding. I love lamb kebabs. But you get your lamb kebabs. You can also have Italian meals. There's a lot of burger restaurants. There's even an English restaurant that I've not tried yet, and I need to go and see what it's like because I've not been. If you want some more English Irish kind of food, there's two places in Italy. One, there's Sam Ryan's, and there's the Wolfhound. I lean more towards the Wolfhound because I prefer the vibe in there. It's quite nice, and I generally think the food's slightly better than Sam Ryan's, but Sam Ryan's food is still good nonetheless. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more exotic, like a Mexican food, Italy one still is the place to be. Like, they have a place called Vetos, where it's Mexican food. They love Mexican food here, so you will find a lot of Mexican places. Now, when it actually comes to more closer to home food, as in like Korean cultured food or fusion food, as I'd like to say, the biggest thing I'd probably say in Korea, if you're a tourist and you want an authentic Korean meal, is go to a Korean barbecue. Because it's the whole thing for me that I get really happy about going to Korean barbecue. First time I came to Korea in March of this year, my first night I had Korean barbecue, and I don't know if it was the jet lag or I was drank a little bit too much or I was being force fed because I was so hungry, but I really didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of it. So when I came back to Korea, it was a couple of months before I had my first Korean barbecue. Now, ever since I had that Korean barbecue again, I fell back in love with it. So I'll pop some more pictures in from the Korean barbecue I had on Friday evening. It was outstanding. So you order your meat, you can get tofu, a particular soup with tofu in as well, your kimchi, you get your lettuce. So what you do is basically there's a big stove in the middle of your table, and you have to, well, sometimes the waiter cooks for you, sometimes you do it yourself, depending on the place you go to, depending on your preference. You cook the meat in front of you, and then you just pick it and eat it. Sometimes you wrap it in lettuce, sometimes you dip it in different sauces, but it's really great. It's really fun to do with friends and with people that you spend a lot of time with. It's a really fun thing to do. It's not just the normal sit down, eat your dinner. It involves a lot of, I wouldn't say drinking as such, because I mean you don't have to drink in any option, any meal you go to, but you have a lot of like soju, mekchu, beer, and yeah, it's a really fun thing to do. Talk about mekchu, I'm actually on tea today. I've been feeling slightly under the weather this week, so I'm oh, it's lovely. So I'm actually on the tea. Now, United are playing later on this evening, so I might have a beer later on. What time is it now? It's only 7:15 now, so I'll see how I feel later on. Now, the second place I want to talk about is a fusion between China and Korea, and it's called jajang. Now, it's supposed to be jajang with noodles, but I always have jajang with either rice or mashed potatoes, so I'm even creating the fusion even more, especially with mashed potatoes. It tastes, sometimes they put like is it aubergine? I think it's aubergine, I'm not entirely sure, but it's a really sweet, rich, like black bean kind of taste sauce. But it just reminds me of like a beef stew you'd have in Ireland, but obviously not to the same extent, a lot sweeter. And I'm a big fan of it, I do really enjoy it. I normally have it with mashed potatoes, so it reminds me a little bit of home as well, of Korea and the Chinese and fusion in there. It's called jajang, and I'd always say, give it a go. Give it a go. If you see it on the menu, it's something that's quite good, and it's not too spicy. So if you're not a spicy kind of person, I say definitely try it. Another thing I'd like to say as well, where this is massive for me because I love this. This is my top 5 foods now. Donkas. I absolutely love donkas. And for those of you who don't know what donkas is, it's basically just a pork cutlet, and it's like dipped in breadcrumbs and fried. Obviously, it's not the healthiest of foods, but it's amazing. Now, they do it in Japan and they do it in Korea. Now, you'll have some people go, the Korean one's the best. People in Japan, so go, the Japanese one's the best. Now, my personal preference, I don't want to start like putting my own eggs in the basket and start giving my opinion, but the Korean donkas is more of a meal. You're gonna get your kimchi, you're gonna get your horseradish, you're gonna get your rice, you're gonna get your sauce, you're gonna get your donkas with it, the actual pork cutlet itself. The Japanese one though, it's kind of the same. You get your rice, you get your donkas, but the sauce is spicier. Now me, I'm a big spice fan, so for me it's technically a little bit tastier, but it's solely down to preference. Now it's like a tale of the tape. Some things have positive, Korean one has positives and negatives, Japanese one has positives and negatives. It depends on what you actually enjoy eating and what you like. But yeah, with regards to food here, if you're coming over and you're slightly worried, you're slightly a fussy eater, I'd say do a little bit of research into the food first, because it's not as easy as going into a restaurant and ordering something straight away, especially if you're like a vegetarian or a vegan, because meat is very popular in Korea. It's very popular to have meat. I'd say do your research, have a look at a lot of restaurants or a lot of kind of style of foods that may suit your palate. Because one of my also favourite ones is another Korean kind of style restaurant where it's chimek. So it's basically chicken and metchu, chicken and beer. Obviously it's not going to be a vegan's heaven, is it? But going on to chimek, it's basically, you go in there, you have your chicken, you can be oven fried, oven baked, fried chicken, different flavoured chicken thighs, the whole breast itself, you name it, you can have it. And you have beer as well, and that's kind of what you do. You go with your friends, you have your beer, you have your chicken. There's so many different chicken companies out here. It's like Ooh La La Chicken, BHC Chicken. Like there's so many different chicken shops that KFC isn't even that popular here, because they've got their own kind of brands of chicken that people go to, they prefer. So KFC isn't the most popular restaurant here, fast food restaurant here. Now, I'm going to kind of cut the end of the video, last few minutes now, talking about it. I could go on about food for hours. I love food, I love making food. The last point I want to talk about is actually making food. Now, this week, because it's Christmas, I've kind of gone off the boil. I've kind of gone out Thursday, Friday, last night. I've kind of gone out rather than cook more. It's Christmas, I've met different groups of friends, we've done different things. So, I personally would say cooking is very easy in Korea to do. It can be very cheap if you know where to find things. Now, obviously, if you go to your GSs, you go to your CUs, you go to even your Geno marks, your small markets, it's gonna be a little bit expensive. Now, if you go to likes of Home Plus, or if you go to E-Mart, or you go to these big supermarkets, it's gonna be cheaper. Now, I don't have one, but I have been, so I do see why people do have it. Is a Costco card here. There's one in Sangbong if you're kind of East Seoul, and there's one kind of near Incheon, but I don't really know where that one is. I know there's one in Sangbong, which is kind of close to me. It's 30k for the year, and you can have American steak, which is really cheap. You can buy in bulk. You can, I mean, if you like making food and freezing food, or buying in bulk, and you do what you will with it, I would suggest highly to get a Costco card. If you're organised, not like me, I'm not organised in the slightest, but I'd highly suggest take a look. You can go into Costco without a membership card, because they only check it when you leave. So if you've got nothing in your hands, they're fine to let you browse, but you just can't buy without membership. So I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully going to put a few pictures in, and obviously if you want to subscribe or follow me on Twitter, as I've kindly put up here for the whole video. Hopefully I have after me doing that. But next week I think I'm going to film it on Saturday, because Saturday is going to be the 23rd, but I'll still kind of put it out on the 24th because it'll be Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, I want to kind of get out and do things, even if it doesn't involve drinking, if it does being socialising, because it's Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it, please subscribe, and yeah, if you have any questions, drop me a like. Okay, ciao.